Hey everybody, this is Delta with Paw Productions, doing a little audio video today for survivalandpreparedness.com. Today I'm pretty much just going to talk about reasons why we prep, why do you prep. There's always a lot of threads on the internet that always talk about that. You know, what'd you do today to prep? Why do you prep? What got you started? So I figured I'd talk a little bit about how I got into preparedness and survivalism and go from there. So, but make sure you go to survivalpreparedness.com and register, because a lot of these videos that we do at PAW and also with Survival Reports podcast are now only in the members forum, so you need to register. So head on over there and check it out. All right. Well, I started prepping a long time ago, not prepping per se, but just getting into like the whole survivalist kind of mindset a long time ago. I mean, if I put a number on it, I'm going to be telling you that I was like 5 years old when I started. It's like, oh, look, I watched Jeremiah Johnson, went out and got a compass and a knife and, started whittling fire sticks, in Cub Scout camp, which is about as honest as I can get about it. I mean, it's my early teens, probably before that. I was involved with scouts and always got me in the be prepared. It never really got into anything past like a wilderness camping type survival situation. It's like, oh, I'm 12 years old, let's build a little lean-to and camp out with our Swiss Army knife, and the whole time freaking out thinking a bear's gonna eat you or something. That's pretty much where my mindset was until probably my middle teens, and of course saw Red Dawn and all that other stuff. So I kind of call it like my Red Dawn phase. It's I remember being 17 with a few buddies, and we all had our Alice packs and our Woodland BDUs, and they didn't have any of the nasty weapons assault bands, so we had our SKSs and stuff, and we'd go out and play around, and for all lack of better terms, it's Red Dawn in it, playing Rambo. I mean, there was no plan, there was no organization for what we had. It was just a bunch of teenagers going out and trying to be cool for the most part. That mindset of just I'm going to grab my bug out bag, which I really didn't even call it back then. It was just just my Alice pack, grab it, and I was going to run to the nearest national forest with 5 or 6 of my friends, and we were going to take back, run for free America and everything like that. And that's about the extent it was. A lot of people, back then there wasn't the internet, there wasn't web forums where you can go on and be like, what's the best way to pack my bug out bag or my inch bag, or let me find some other acronym to make up so I can make it like my own. There was none of that. It was kind of like self-taught. It's like, okay, I'm hiking, I'm like 12 miles into it. Geez, that 2-quart canteen just ain't enough. Guess what, Delta, you're going to be thirsty here unless you go get some mud water with them old nasty iodine tablets. So, but that phase, I think everybody starts out in some, intro little stepping stone, more or less. There's something that gets them going. That was for me, it was like a wilderness thing. From there I progressed to, I'm in my mid-20s, I got my camping totes, and of course, I live in the southeast, so we're all constantly plagued by natural disasters, tornadoes, hurricanes, the whole 9 yards. So I had, a couple Rubbermaid totes full of, camping supplies and hurricane supplies and everything like that, but it never really progressed past that. It's like, yeah, I had a 48-quart, kind of container full of canned goods and stuff, and gear, and that was it. It was like, all right, cool. Older I got, then I got, okay, now I need to have more weapons, more this, more better gear, but a lot of the stuff, because, like I said, people have it so easy today with the net, they can just go on and look up and be like, what do I need to have for 3 days? Back then, like I said, just like with being in the woods, it's like you kind of learned as you went. And, especially if you don't have anybody giving you any type of guidance, it's like everybody now is like, I don't want to, I kind of get sidetracked every now and then, but, oh, I don't have time to meet people and I don't have time for this, but they want to research everything on the web. It's like, until you really get around other people that have, gone that step further than you, it's like you're never going to learn how to, better your situation. And, it's like, think of it as playing sports. It's like, you're on a JV team and your coach is the same guy in your math class that doesn't know as much as, doesn't know anything. Your team's not going to do good. You're not going to do good. You guys are just going to be like, it's like a snake with no head just flopping around on the ground. So, but probably later on in my life, of course, wanting to have a family and kid and everything like that, it's like all of a sudden, mature responsibility kicks in and you go, well, that camping gear's nice, that tote of food's nice, but what's that? 2 weeks worth of food. It's like that's not going to do anything good. So probably a little bit after Y2K, excuse me, started putting up more and more and more. And I've run the gambit of just like everybody else you see on the web. It's like, how do you get your wife on board, or your significant other, or your husband, your girlfriend, your brother, your dog, your sister, your uncle, cousin, sister's brother, Mary Joe down the street, It's like you can't. It's like everybody has to have like, their own trigger point pretty much that gets them off their six to start doing it. It's for me, it was just common sense. It was like, I want to have a family, I'm out of my Red Dawn phase where it's grab my backpack and leave everything behind to I can't do that now. It's like I'm married, I have a kid, I have this, I have responsibility, I'm mature now. And that needed to grow just like myself. It's everything evolves, So I started off doing that, and here I am now. What people need to remember is that it never really nobody ever starts off with everything. I mean, unless you win the lottery and you go online and you make like a list of like 1,000 things and, sit there and get real anal and research everything until you're got bloodshot eyes and stubby little bloody fingers from typing and hanging out on web forums all day long, and then going out making this shopping list and dumping all the money into it. I mean, that's the only way you're ever going to get everything. And honestly, you're just throwing money at a problem. It's like you're not going to, I mean, think about it. Just because somebody posts a list up on the web and says, oh, this is my list of stuff, you'll get like 30 people that are like drooling all over the guy. Oh, you're so prepared. I wish I could be like you. Well, you don't need to wish to be like the guy. You can be like the guy. The problem is take your time and set your goals and try to, get to them. It's like, it's like I joke around with my dad because of some issues I've been having at work and stuff about the old movie from the 90s. What About Bob? It's like baby steps. It's like what we do is no different. It's like RH says from Survival Report. It's like the tortoise and the hare. It's like you don't have to be the fastest to win the race. You just have to be consistent and stay at it. And it's the same thing. It's like do you want to go right off the bat your first point at prepping and turn around and pack 700 pounds of food? It's like, sure, if you want to, go ahead, but most people won't or can't do that. And the thing is start small. It's just go at it one little step at a time and keep chugging away. It's like the little train that could. Yay. Like the like a little kid pep talk here. Keep going. But you got to start with that. Pick a time frame, and it doesn't matter if you're 16, 17, 18 years old. I mean, you could be 10 years old, you could be 50, you could be 70 years old. It's like pick a goal, whether you pick it for your 3 days, 3 hours, 3 months, 3 years, 30 years. Pick one and aim for it. That is all up to the person. It's like I can sit there and go, oh, it's all good and wonderful to have, a year's put up for 10 people and, or, look at my perfect 3-day bag that, I spent $700 on to fill with, this list that some guy on a website gave me, but in the end, it's up to the person, the individual, to sit there and see what best fits their plan and to go from there. It's like none of us are right, none of us are wrong, because we're all in different stages. It's like just like in life. It's like there's some people that are teenagers, or some people that are senior citizens. So the extent of how you prep is pretty much up to you, the individual. the main thing is to get started on it. You know, it's like, just don't worry about it. Just start doing it. Um, like I said earlier, it's like, set your goals. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, you want to go for 3 days, but your wife isn't on board with it. It's like, so what? You know, if you're the husband, put your 3 days up. I'm sorry, but 3 days worth of food is 20, 30, $40 at best. I mean, if that, you know, and if somebody's got that much of a problem, so where if they can't spend that much to do that, well, you know, when you go out to like Chili's or Applebee's or whatever it is you go out to eat off on a Friday night, or you know, whatever, it's like you're blowing the same money there. It's like, don't get into that rut where it's like, I can't because. Don't let anybody hold you back from doing it. You know, I can't do it because, you know, I work 2 jobs, or I can't do it because, you know, my wife will be mad at me if I buy an extra can of Spam because she doesn't like Spam, or, you know, my girlfriend or my husband, you know, my husband thinks I'm silly. It's like, well, guess what? You know, maybe it'll never pay off. But the thing is, it's like, those preps eventually will, either through, you know, I mean, right now, look, everybody knows how bad the economy is, and food prices have gone up. You know, it's like what I bought 5-6 years ago, you know, costs twice as much now. So you have to think of it in that way. Think of it as like an investment in your future, more or less, than, you know, like some people try to equate it to a insurance policy, because it's really not. So pick your goals and run with them. You know, one little thing at a time, one little thing at a time. Pick your priorities and get them. You know, it's like you see in the bug out bag videos, and, you know, you've heard, if anybody's watched any of my videos or even seen me post a lot on the web, it's like, I always say, it's like your three priorities. We all need food and water, and we all need shelter to live. I mean, those are our necessities. The amounts is the only thing that changes. You know, it's like, you got a mini kit, you still need your, you know, 3 things to live. You got your bug out bag, you still need your 3 things to live. If you've got your retreat, you need your 3 things to live. You need your water, you got to drink every day, you got to eat, and you got to keep a roof over your head to stay warm and dry, or, you know, cool in the summer. So basically, I'm probably going to have to cut it short here for YouTube reasons. So get ready for a part 2. I'll try to continue on with it then. Till then, Delta, thanks for listening.